celiac, Crohn's.
Hypochondriac.
Are you filming?
Oh. Hey guys, my name's Baxter.
I'm Lee Norton.
We forget our names apparently now. I'm so
I was
tired.
actually trolling you. You didn't even realize it.
Oh my god, you troll me all the time. Stop it. So we are now up to week 9, but technically this is week 11.
Update number 9.
Update number 9, yes. Of my reverse diet. So have a guess. How am I doing this week, Lane?
I'm gonna guess that you had some kind of freak out at some point about that you were 87 kilos.
Yeah, I've
And
gained 20.
actually, you are still 66 point something kilos.
Okay, well, here is an interesting topic this week because I actually had a technological breakdown. So I have a new phone and
Holly and technology are not friends.
I feel like my audience knows this, but
No, they really don't understand like the level of PTSD.
I was about to throw my computer out the window like literally 2 seconds ago before we started filming this because stuff doesn't work.
I just been mashing of keys and cursing.
We don't want to bore the people here watching. So right now we've had a bit of a technical difficulty this week. I was no longer able to record any of my macros. Now this is actually something that kind of happens a lot with clients, or you go away, forget to track. Lane, do you ever forget to track, or do you track every day? I don't know.
I track every day, but I'm low tech.
Yeah, you write your stuff down every time. So he doesn't even need an app. Like he's old school. That's how I use it.
When the apocalypse happens,
But
I will not be affected with
you
my
know
games.
that you're not adapting because you know that there are actually programs now that can help you, and you're still like, no, I'm just gonna jump down myself.
Of the two of us, who is more adaptable?
Okay, I got a point.
Yeah, you're damn right.
So, I don't actually have any data to support my course this week. Oh my god, and I'm a big fan of data. Lane will know this, you know this. Like, I was sitting here this morning, we were talking about a vegan, and I was trying to convince her that she needed to not be a vegan anymore for health benefits. I was like, I don't have any data. Give me some data. So we're like looking up stuff anyway. We're all about data, and we don't actually have any this week to go on the cause.
Well, that's not completely true. We just don't have exact numbers for what you've done.
Right.
But, you know, I would be more concerned if you were somebody who your weight tended to fluctuate a lot and you kind of bounced around a lot and you weren't real meticulous with your tracking, but that's not how you are. You're really meticulous and your weight pretty much stays on the average within a very tight 1 kilo range.
Yeah.
Actually even a half kilo range. And you're still, when you woke up today, you were 66.3. You touched 67 and even 68 earlier in the week, but you were on your period, so that explains why you had a fluctuation there.
Yeah.
And females, that is normal. And even if you're not on your period, it is completely normal to fluctuate 1 to 2% of your body weight every single day.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like the higher your body weight is, guys, 1 to 2%. Like that range is increasing, so please consider that.
If Ray Williams misses a meal, he drops 10 pounds.
Right. A client of mine said to me a couple of days ago, they were like, "Wow, you know, I've gone down 500 grams this week. I'm really disappointed. You know, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Man," I had to explain to her like some of my meals weigh 500 grams. Yeah. So if I didn't eat that and then I took my weight, yeah, I'm gonna be 500
grams
down.
That's a dookie. You missed a dookie, and that's why.
So what we're going to go with this week is, okay, I can remember vaguely what my macros were earlier last week, and I definitely hit my targets pretty consistently. So just to summarize where we're at with my macros, right now I'm still at 165 protein. We took my carbs up to 205 last week, and my protein is at my fats are at 62. And I know for the first part of last week's update, I was definitely hitting those targets pretty consistently, but then over the weekend, I have no idea. I can't remember what they were, but yeah, I don't know. But
you were still pretty consistent. I think you were short one day.
Well, we actually, so I had, we went out for drinks on the weekend, and I know I'd left a lot of macros previous day. So one day I was quite low. I was about 300 calories shy of my targets, and you were like, hey, that doesn't matter, tomorrow we'll probably go out and eat. And I was like, yeah, I'll make them up tomorrow so that I'm calorie balanced over the course of the week. And I definitely made them back up. Had a lot to drink. Actually, no, I shouldn't really say that.
No, that was you know, wine tasting and like an extra wine, or you actually had a cider after that.
Yeah, I had,
but, you know, again, so in my opinion, you stayed the same.
Yeah.
You know, you were going to be close to your calories regardless. So I think that, we can go ahead and be able to make an increase. And probably, if you want to be more on the conservative side, that's okay. But, I think that things are still going smoothly.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. This morning, so my weight was 66.3. So that's like lower again than what it was last week, even though I'd increased my calories. So again, I still feel like I'm a little bit softer, and I've explained the reasons why in my previous videos, because of the change in training, because I'm doing my powerlifting, which is in 3 days, so I'm very excited about that. So the next 2 days for me are pretty chill. I don't really have a lot to do at all. I just go to the gym, do a couple 10-minute walks and some breathing and back and postural exercises, and that's about it. So my calorie expenditure is right down at the moment, but hey, you know what, I'm on a reverse diet. Give me the calorie.
It hasn't made a difference.
It really hasn't.
Your body is just dissipating that extra energy.
Yeah, so. It's great. So I think I'm pretty confident to say we'll go up. So let's head over to the computer and we'll punch in some numbers and see what we come out at this week.
Or in her case, she's just going to punch the computer.
Yeah. Alright guys, so I took my weight 4 times last week, so I'm just going to punch those in and work out what the average is. So I remember last week I had a 68. I had a 66.9, I had a 67.2, and today I had a 66.3. So we'll divide that by 4 because I've got 4 data points. So my average weight this week, even though I had my period last week, which does tend to make things go up a little bit, I'm going to use that. I really don't care at this point. 67.1. So Kabira, I'm going to just come over here. 67.1. So today's date is the 23rd of May. Cool. And this week's training literally was 3 weights again and 120 minutes of lifts. I'm going to put no for compliance because I don't know. Technically, if I was working with a client and I didn't have any data...
What about just putting a question mark?
Okay, I can put a question mark. That's fine. If I didn't have any data and they were somebody that wasn't really sure about how they actually went, especially if they were new to tracking, I would probably actually hold them steady because we don't know whether the weight increase or the weight decrease that they may or may not have had is actually due to those particular macros. So I would hold them steady. But in my case, I'm pretty confident that I was right up there around that 2,000 calorie mark, which is what my target was. So yeah, we'll go ahead and increase. So for this week, I'm gonna stick at 165. I probably should take that up because I keep going over consistently, but hey, we'll just keep it there because I don't really need any extra protein. It's more for food choice, and I'm trying to get my carbs and fats up, which is more important. So 215, and we'll take it to 65. So right now we're at 2067. So it's only a 50 calorie increase. Not a huge amount, but again, we're being really conservative because of my low training volumes right now. I'm really not doing a lot of anything. So I think next week when I'm back to like a more of a normal schedule, and I'm going to sit down with my coach Andres and talk about how things can go next week with training, maybe we can start to increase those numbers a little bit more aggressively. So yeah, 2067 targets. That's so good. I think my goal was like
make
25.
it rain with carbs, bro.
The other night I had so many carbs left. Like I think I sat down to
You were like, I want to make something feral.
I was like, I want to make something super feral because I have like 100.
Feral is nasty, by the way.
So I made a chocolate brownie and I made a white chocolate brownie, or a blondie, I think you guys call it here in the US. It's just like a dense fudge slice with hardly any flour in it. It's just like all chocolate and butter.
And then
so
she had
I
that for
smashed
breakfast?
out like 40 grams of fat, 100 grams of carbs in one sitting. I'm just like, yeah, this is good. It was so nice. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with the flexibility that I have back. It is so tough being on low calories. And like the number of people that will inquire, and I'm sure for you as well with coaching, like they want to lose fat and they're sitting at 1,200 calories, and like you just kind of have to point it out, like where are you going to go if you're already here? Like we're 200 calories off your calorie floor. well, what do you want me to do with that?
So they're already so efficient with energy.
Yeah, so
So what you're saying with you is you're just becoming very inefficient with energy.
it's great.
You're just your activity is very similar, or even lower.
Lower.
But you're still not gaining weight because you're just dissipating that energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably your basal metabolic rate is going up, and you're also probably fidgeting more. Like I can even see you right now, like
Yeah, I'm just
fidgeting a little
moving
more.
around.
Whereas before you'd be like,
Yeah, I'd be so tired. I'd just be like, babe, can you pass me this?
yeah. So
So
I think this is going to put us in a good position if we keep going to get to when you decide to do physique competition later in the year. There's still going to be a point at which life sucks
Yeah.
and you hate it, but hopefully later. in the prep-
realistically, and I want to ask you this question because you've worked with thousands, like literally thousands of athletes. I'm like still in the hundreds. I'm tail blazing behind you. But based on your
Did you say
experience,
tail glazing?
tail blazing.
Is that like a shrimp dish or something?
No.
with balsamic glaze?
Oh, no, trailblazing.
Gotcha.
So, based on your experience working with competitors, if you look at somebody's starting macros when they start a reverse diet to their end point, and then you bring them back in for a contest, is there like a bit of a trend or a trajectory that you see? Do they end up getting back to where they started?
It's very individual. Some people you can get them up really high in the off season, and that translates over to contest prep where
So they're not finishing as
where
well.
they're finishing higher.
Yeah.
You know, Aria was very much like that when I worked with Aria Demi, and a lot of others were very much like that, and that's the goal at the end.
Yeah.
And some just kind of they're very adaptive. You know, they can go, they can eat more on the way up,
Yeah.
and then
But
as
it
they
still takes big jumps for them.
it still takes pretty big jumps
Yeah.
for them to get drops.
Yeah.
And they'll, I've got some people who I'll have to adjust almost weekly, because they just stick so often because their body's so adaptive.
Yeah.
So it helps them on the way up, hurts them on the way down. But in general, who doesn't like eating more in the off season?
Yeah, exactly.
And at
Better
least
than
you're
just
not-
being stuck in that place.
Yeah, and at least
where-
you're not starting off so low.
Yeah.
So at least, you'll suffer, but you're not suffering till a little bit later in prep. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, even me, like, you say I have macros of the gods, which isn't true compared to men I've seen.
Actually, I've got
I've got a
more
70.
macros than
I've
you
got a
right now.
7. I've got a 70 5-kilo male who's on 600 grams of carbs and 150 grams of fat right now.
Yeah.
Um,
What are you on right now?
400 grams of carbs and 100 grams of fat and 250
I
grams of
have
protein.
2 women right now that are on 500 grams of carbohydrates and they're 60 kilos.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Isn't it awesome?
So, but even me, but I was, my last off season before prep, I was up to 500 grams of carbohydrate a day and about 100 grams of fat. And I still had to get very aggressive by the end. I still hated life by the end, but I really didn't start hating life until about 8 weeks out of a 24-week prep.
Yeah.
So, but that last 8 weeks was really tough. And that's just something you have to acknowledge that, to get that lean at some point, life is going to suck. And you just hope you can minimize the suck.
Now, for people that aren't necessarily competing, I guess the goal of the reverse diet would be to get them up really high with their calories, hopefully minimize the amount of weight gain during that, if at all. And then when you do bring them back down, hopefully, even if they do get back to where they started, their physique is better.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways to look at progress.
Yeah.
Either you get leaner on the same amount of calories, or you get as lean as you were before on a greater amount of calories.
Exactly.
And either one of those is the benefit.
Do you want to repeat that just one more time?
Yeah,
just
so
in case you missed it?
either you get leaner on the same amount of calories, or you get as lean as you were before on a greater amount of calories, and that both are progress. And I always tell people, you're gonna regain some weight after a diet, it just invariably happens.
Yeah.
But don't look at that as a marker of progress. So what you want to look at is, okay, at my peak weight, so this is your kind of peak off-season weight right now, am I eating more calories than I was at the last time I was at this weight? And yes, the answer is yes for you right now.
So that is correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when you diet down, the question is, okay, if I get as lean as I did last time, am I able to do it on more calories? Yes. Okay, I got leaner.
Or if I needed to have a better physique, well,
Yeah.
yes, I might get back to those calories, but I got a better physique.
Right, so
that's a win.
and then if you next off season, let's say you get back up to 66, 67 kilos, but you're on
3,000.
2,700 calories a day. Well, that was a win. You know what I mean? Because then when you come back down, it's going to be even better.
Yeah, and I think,
or perhaps you get to the same level of calories, but now you're at 64, 65 kilos. Those are all victories.
Yeah, so I think, you know, thinking about the long-term goal, I have a lot of clients that are working with me for 6 months, 12 months. I'm sure you do as well. And you kind of have to paint out that picture for them. Like, okay, here is the progress of we're going up, we're going down, but we're going to get a better physique. And then we reverse you again, we get you up, and then we bring you back down. Hey, you've got a better physique again. All the while, your calories are
nice slideshow of this in one of my talks. I actually showed Lauren Conlon throughout like different phases of her
I think I
reversing and coming back down. And I show that, you know, that
it's like
yeah, exactly. So, you know, keep in mind that like it's still progress, and don't compare your reverse to anybody else's because everybody responds differently. You know, you're responding very well. I actually tend to I gain weight kind of linearly, but not as much as I would gain if I just ate however I wanted. So, you know, everybody responds differently. Trying to compare yourself to the person who's eating 500 grams of carbohydrate today and shredded. All right, that's an aberration. That doesn't usually happen. So, but yeah, I'm very happy with how yours is going, and I think that you're seeing the benefits of it. I think you always were very interested in reverse dieting, but kind of.
To be honest, like the reverse diets that I have done have been like 6 and 7 weeks, and then there has always been that little niggling thought in the back of my mind, like, oh, I've got this coming up. Oh, I really need to be thin.
And that's no different than a lot of women. Oh, I've got a wedding coming up, or oh, I've got a vacation coming up, or I've got this photo shoot, or this show's gonna be that. There's always gonna be shows. There's always gonna be photo shoots. You know what a good way? Or people go. I hear this a lot from competitors. I want to keep some momentum going. I want the judges to see me. If you look like shit, the judges, that's not going to help you, right? The best way to get judges to look at you is to look fucking awesome. I just had a gal this past weekend, Teresa Miller. Her first national show. They've never seen her. She's never been on national stage. Got second, almost won. You know why? Because she looked fucking awesome. So if you show up looking awesome, judges tend to look at you. So stop with that whole momentum stuff. I don't buy that.
Yeah.
I think we're getting on tangents now.
Yeah, I had something really important to say that I had completely forgotten.
Lane was talking.
Damn it. That's okay. We'll wrap it up here anyway, guys. So, yeah, I'm 600 calories up now. No weight change. I see just like some movement with my body composition just because of my training. But overall, weight hasn't changed. That was the goal from the get-go. So I'm still super happy. I'm going to leave you guys with my physique update, and this week I will do photo comparisons from week 1. I have a couple of pictures from week 1 that I'm going to do some side-by-side, so we'll do a video and that, and you can just kind of see, and you'll notice where my little pudgy bits are softening, but hey, life is good.
I'm going to hook her up to electrodes, and every time she refers to herself as pudgy, she's going to get a zap.
I know that. I really shouldn't say that about myself. I think I'm pretty...
I'm excited for your meet.
Yeah.
Should be fun. So, guys, stay tuned. We're heading to California, like literally 20 minutes from now.
Less than.
And we're going to go out there. She's going to crush some weights, and we're going to get on video. So, stay tuned.
Powerlifting.